Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video on my YouTube channel. I'm Nicholas and today we're back with another K-pop album reaction. Today you are going to be seeing my reaction plus very detailed and in-depth review of 17's fourth album, Face the Sun, which is also my first 17 album I'm checking out. Now 17 released this album alongside its music video slash title track Hot last Friday, and that's when I reacted to the title track and also reacted to the album like later today. And I originally wanted to have it uploaded on Saturday, but unfortunately, as I already kind of expected it, copyright intervened because I did the 7 B-sides in one sitting and wanted to upload it as one video, which would have been 80 minutes long. Okay, like mentioned, it was a very in-depth review because the songs really gave me a lot to go through. So I took the moment and said, okay, I will dispute the claims and see whether or not I might, give me the video nonetheless, so that I will be able to give you the album reaction as one video. And now earlier on Monday, yesterday, I got the notification that yeah, they did not do that, slash the video remains blocked, which means that I unfortunately have to split the album reaction into 2 parts and upload them that way instead of conveniently in one video. Like mentioned, it was very long, so maybe this has actually been more convenient for some of you, but yeah, this is now the way we're doing it instead. The first part, with the first 4 B-sides, and later in around an hour or so, you'll be getting the second part with the remaining 3 B-sides to check out alongside their and in-depth review of the album entirely. So without further ado, let's stop the talking, let's start reacting. My first part of 17's fourth album, Face the Sun, my first 17 album overall, and its first 4 B-sides. Enjoy. I'm now excited to see how 17's B-sides will look like, mostly serving the same producer team, or at least lyric team. Actually, the producers are, and the compositions are always, the credits are long, okay, but overthroughout the entire album, always involved in every single song are, where is he? Where's my man? Boozy, alongside, Bomzu, another producer from Pleadis Entertainment, which is now part of Hype Levels. So I'm really excited to see what they have in store for me. And the first B-side is, oh boy, how do we pronounce that? I actually don't even want to try saying it. I would just wait for the song. I'm sure it will be said there. I think that's, I can't even tell the language. I'm sorry. We would just dive into it. The lyrics by, like mentioned, Boozy, Boomzu, and Shannon. Composed by Alright. Wait, never mind. That was for Darl+ing. Never mind. For this song, we got another member on board for the lyrics. In Wonbu. Alright. Oh, that's the one with the most involved credits. Okay. So another member helped here with the lyrics. I'm excited for that. So let's stop the talking. Let's start reacting. First of 7 B-sides on 17's fourth full album, Face the Sun. I'll wait how it's pronounced within the song. Let's check it out. Let's see what concepts they're going for, how much variety they will show here. Let's go.
I just wanna feel the vibes.
That clap set made me think at first it's going to be heavy, but it actually sounds softer now. Ooh, balanced voice. Is this the intro already the chorus as intro? Okay. I wouldn't have been even close with the pronunciation. Very enjoyable verse picture. Oh, it was the pre-chorus. We did the pre-chorus as intro. That's cool. For part of it, at least. Don Quixote. Okay. Ooh, lengthy pre-chorus. Ooh. Oh wait, do we have a real chorus? It's more like a verse now, actually. I'm a bit confused right now. Doesn't sound like a chorus, but it sounds good. I'm actually a bit confused right now. What was the pre-chorus now? What was the chorus here? Like, we had that part now already. Did we have the chorus before and that was just the second verse here? Before that, the rap section? The beat is banging though. Like, it's a mix out of softer vocal sections and, like, mentioning more hip-hop influenced parts. Even like Don Quixote. Is that a reference I'm not getting right now? Ended like this. Okay. Okay, the structure of the song honestly confused me a little bit. I won't even lie to you. And I really don't know if that's now just on me and I wasn't like paying attention enough, or if this is generally a bit of a different song structure. Let me check quickly though. Don Quixote, a novel by Miguel de Cervantes, a Spanish novel. Yeah, I thought that it would be Spanish because Don it sounded like Spanish to me. But Don Quixote, I would have thought like Quixote or something like that, or Quixote, but it's all a little bit of German slip out there. But it's Don Quixote, okay. But yeah, the construction of this song really caught me off guard a little bit. Like this, I just want to feel the vibe section, everything, you know. At first, it's a classic thing to do, right? To start a song with the chorus, just not in full-fledged chorus sound, but just with the same lyrics in a more tame way. But then the way we did that here, it kind of felt like it was actually, you know, that's the part we have in the beginning too. And because up until this point, this was the verse, I was like, okay, so we started with the pre-chorus actually, okay. Or is it just that we don't have a pre-chorus? I think that's actually what happened here. I think that's actually what we did. Like, this here is... That's clearly a verse. Or where's the... Yeah, that's still the verse for me. There was never really a clear switch to the pre-chorus. You know, and that's here the first time where we switch again, where I was like, okay, we're diving now into the pre-chorus, and it was actually the pre-chorus, but I think this is the actual chorus. Let me I actually gonna check the lyrics, like on Genius or something, to see if they say it there as well, and they go like, yeah, that is the that's the chorus right there. Like mentioned, I'm a bit confused by the construction, which is why I'm going a bit into that right now. Overall, like mentioned, the song has a very enjoyable. Yeah, okay. The chorus, the first 4 lines of the will already be are already considered the chorus. So yeah, that's what we did here. So we don't actually. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. So if we go after the lyrics here, the way it's showcased here, then that means after the second verse, we didn't even have the chorus actually, and what we saw there already, this my hands up high, I keep them high with the I'ma light it up, is already the bridge. Okay, this is definitely a song that at first may have confused a few people. Be honest with me, or am I just, like mentioned, totally, you know? The construction of this definitely caught me off guard at first, but like mentioned, it's nothing bad or anything. Like mentioned, it's just unusual, but unusual doesn't equal not good. And like mentioned, Don Quixote has a very fun sound itself. It's a shorter song with, like mentioned, this I just wanna feel the vibes. You know, that was a cool melody. And we, like mentioned, generally have that classic contrast between, okay, we do more flow with the verses, have a more stronger, slightly hip hop influenced feeling there, well then we, like mentioned, go for the melodic vocal parts with the not pre-chorus but chorus and bridge, because we don't have a pre-chorus. That's the confusing thing about the song. What means confusing thing? The different thing about the song compared to usual songs, we do not have an actual pre-chorus that really told you now, okay, that was actually the chorus. Because after this verse, like mentioned, the first switch you have was into this, which already at the beginning where I was like, wait. So we started with the chorus at first, I thought, and then, oh wait, never mind, this is actually the pre-chorus, but then we go back into this already, right? yeah, I understand now how we did this. I understand how we did it, but like mentioned, definitely caught me off guard a little bit at first. But doesn't matter because overall the song was still very cool and enjoyable. But I think the more I listen to it, the more I would get used to this more unusual structure. Maybe they've done songs like this before where we don't really have a pre-chorus, you know, where we like swerve the people at first and make them question, wait, what am I listening to right now? What do we categorize this here? Excited to see if that's the case in future reactions when we go for more 17 albums. I'm looking forward to that as well. For now, it's the opening B-side on this album. Don Quixote has a very, very cool classic song feeling to itself, while having a quite unusual song structure that definitely makes it stand out that way immediately. Makes me very excited to listen to it again later on when I've listened to the entire album, just listen to it from start to finish. Don Quixote, a cool opening, because that's something now I can already tell about Woozi, and in this case probably Bamzu, who may have worked on the other 17 songs as well alongside him. I really like his style. You know, it's like mentioned, classic K-pop, but often with fresh touches in there to make it feel new nonetheless. So while the sound in this is more classic K-pop sound, he still does the song and produces it in a way and does the lyrics and everything which feels at least unique, and where I as a listener feel feel different, because as mentioned, this song made me scratch my head at first because I'm like, oh wait, what are we doing here? Oh no, I understand. Hey, that's actually cool. You know, I love stuff like that. Okay, Don Quixote, cool opening to the album. The next B-side is March. And I think March in this case is not trying to talk about the month March, but instead March in sense of marching, you know. Maybe this will be a heavy march type of song, you know. Interested to find it out, so let's get to the second B-side of 17's fourth full album, Face the Sun. March. Let's march forward. Come on. Written a lot about Woozi and Bumzu? Or Bamzu, I'm sorry. I don't know. Ooh. Ooh, that was a cool opening intro. And it's far away from a March song, but a very cool classic rock energy. Ooh. I love the deep voices in 17 from Vernon and S.coups. Oh, we even have a very little whistling top line in that. And yeah. And I think DK was the one, like mentioned, reminded me of Bacon vocally. Ooh, but I love the fullness of this chorus. The drums are kicking though, man. Ooh. This song has very short verses actually, because already now banging a pre-chorus, but the verses are fast and energetic, which make them such a fun time in between the chorus and the pre-chorus parts. Minju also with a more deeper tone. I like the contrast between the deeper and brighter vocals in the group. Yeah, DK definitely was the one that kind of had a similar tone to Bacon for me. Oh, now we have the cowboy reference again, like we had in the R&B. Ooh, I dig that top line. I dig that top line for the second chorus off. Ooh, energetic bridge. Ooh, this song really keeps such a strong power level all the way through. That's definitely the rock out song thus far. It was also energetic, but this is just heavier. That's cool. That melody is really, really cool. Yeah. That top line really has a cool touch to it. Okay, and we end again with the final lyric. Okay, 17th March. It was neither about the month, nor was it an army like march song, but instead a really, really cool, strong, energetic rock sound. And y'all know me, or those of you that know me know, rock is always welcome for me. I can't get enough of rock K-pop songs, and this song, like mentioned, keeps this very strong rock line alongside some cool drums all the way through. Yeah, I think the softest part of the entire song is actually the pre-chorus, but only one half of it. This is the softest part of the entire song, and even this has some cool drums in there, because the second half of the pre-chorus also already like picks up the pace and strength again within the drop. So the entire song in an intensity level is really high. That's like only besides those two short moments within the first half of the pre-chorus, which are neither long nor even really soft, but it's just the softest part of the song. The intensity level of the song is really, really high, and this means this is definitely the type of song you'll listen to when you just wanna rock out. You just like, it's just like, that headbanging type of song, it's a mover, the tempo is great, and like mentioned, the core parts of this, or like the main parts of the song, are definitely the bridge, which increases the intensity level even by another level, and obviously the chorus itself, which is a very full one. We doing it 3 times in full as well, that's what like mentioned, to keep the song length at a shortly after around 3-minute level. We like mentioned kept the verses a bit shorter, but those verses are like mentioned short, fun, and sweet, and have good flow in them, which makes it totally fine. It's a heavy intensity-wise, high level rock sound with a lengthy, great chorus. The second half especially sounding really, really good. The pre-chorus builds up really, really well, and like mentioned, there's no part within the song where you really have a breather, cool down type of moment. It's just non-stop action, and therefore, like mentioned, continues the power of Don Quixote and Hot. Like, I think Darling is the first. I would just call it Darling from now on. I don't want to put that plus in the middle all the time. Yeah, Darling kicks it off, right? So after we kick off a bit softer now, after Hot and Don Quixote in March, we had 3 really, really powerful songs that like all have their heavy influences there, with March definitely being the heaviest of them all. I'm digging the pacing of this album thus far. I'm really, really digging the amount of heaviness we have used here within this at the moment. And that's still a thing for me now. I did say after the catching up on video to 17 a few days ago that 17 definitely seems like a group that has a lot of humor, but does really have like a very set concept. Thus far, like mentioned, after the opening song is a bit more softer, a bit more to the mellow vocal direction. The following songs all go into a more stronger direction. So I'm excited to now see how the album will continue. It's generally more of a shorter album with only 9 songs, but usually when I hear full album, I usually always expect at least double-digit numbers. So 9 is relatively short in that sense. It's basically just 2 mini albums mashed together. That B-side is Domino, and we have had many, many great other K-pop songs called Domino. I think my favorite from those that I've listened to thus far would be Stray Kids' Domino. That was also such a heavy, energetic type of banger. So let's see what 17 does with that title. Okay, let's see if they continue the trend with the heaviness, or if the Domino falls into a different route now this time around. Let's check it out. 17, Domino. Already halftime of the album, actually. Oh, straight into it. Ooh. That gritty little sound in the background there is cool. Oh. What the hell was that? For the final 2 parts of that line, we go full on out there. Do we do it again here? Yeah, probably, right? Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, another members in this, lyrically, Minju. Ooh, very calm pre-chorus. Ooh. Ooh, that's such a smooth anti-drop. Oh, but I'm expecting a very energetic second half. Come on. Come on. Oh. Yeah? Okay, it works for me. Oh, okay, that was a short second half. Was about to say, okay, maybe we're doing this with lyrics later on. But actually only one half here. Okay, that's interesting. The song is construction-wise, again, really, really interestingly done. Ooh. Ooh, look at this slightly switch up sound here now with the additional element. Generally, the sound here is very drowned. Like the elements that we have feel like they have such a toned down filter on them, which really keeps it so mellow and calm again. Ooh, this anti-drop is cool though. After such a lengthy pre-chorus, you would expect a strong drop there, but we keep it mellow and smooth to then throw in the instrumental. Which works for me, but I feel like a lyric part would have been cooler here. Ooh, the keys now. Oh, that was a short bridge. Oh, now we're going into some pretty electronic. This song is really interesting. Woo. Now a riff in there too? How many different elements are we putting in this? He really said, let's just pick something out of everywhere. Now we do it twice. Good shit. Because I would have been mad if we did this cool section only once here. Okay. Okay, Domino is insanely interesting. Okay, this is again now one thing I already said about Don Quixote. But this is like even another level of trying something out in the construction sense of the song. Because like the thing about this song is not only just from the way we build it, but also from the stuff we use. Because I always say when it comes to songwriting, especially for a big group, it's basically like playing Legos or just playing puzzle or whatever. But Lego just works really well because you have the puzzle piece, you have the Lego pieces, and you just need to, you know, put them all together to create something cool out of it, right? And you have so many different options. There's so many different availabilities, yeah, I think that's what I'm looking for. You can always do so much creative stuff, right? So here for this, we like mentioned, not only use a very unique way of building the pieces, but also the way we chose the pieces, because like mentioned, we have so many different sound elements involvements in this. Like we have the very soft sections and the ones that actually go a bit more energetic. We have some electronic forefront in there, some electronic dance stuff. At the end it even drifted a little bit tinily into dubstep. Then we had, like mentioned, the riff there for the end as well, soft key in there too. We like really tried a lot around in this with many different sound elements to use. The song itself, generally, I can't even fully categorize it into like a specific genre, because we really tried something out here. And not just in the sound itself, but like mentioned, also the way it was done in the building process, because we jump into it immediately, okay? We jump into it immediately, and very interestingly, for the verse picture, we have like two section of, like we have a, how can you call it, a 4-sectional verse. So the first section with 2 lines, and the second section we have 8 lines overall. We have 8 lines overall, and the way we do this here is calm snaps. Actually, never mind, I think you could call it 2 lines each. Like, that's the thing here now, which one could consider this one line and this one line, but actually I think you can say actually this is one line entirely, so you can actually say it's just 4 lines. I think the way we actually deliver it here, you can consider this one line together, so we actually have 4 lines in the verse, but like in a more calm tempo, you know. So we have more? I actually don't remember right now, but what we're doing here is we have this part of the verse in the first line, basically very calm and playfully delivered. Like the first line of the song already takes over 10 seconds, right? Then the second line comes around, we continue that for the first half, but then oh, the tempo actually increased a little bit. I just now noticed that. Yeah? Never mind, I think the tempo actually increased here now. Yeah. Like the tempo of the beat increases, but the delivery tempo stays. That's fun. That's really fun, actually. And then we go into the pre-chorus. Okay, so like mentioned, it depends on how you would consider this. I think we can consider this one line. So the chorus, or like the verse, actually only has 4 lines, but these are like mentioned very tempo-wise, you know, shortly or like very slowly delivered, so they really drag in that sense. But like the way we end those, the second and the fourth line is so cool. We have like mentioned a more calmer, more emptier part for the first 1.5 lines there, and then the ending is like out of nowhere. You get like so much out of nowhere, so many different sound elements coming in there. It kind of sounds like it's something that you would hear in the chorus, right? We basically have 2 mini choruses in there. We end the lines with these repeated words there and make it feel like a chorus in that. And that's so interesting. Like you so rarely see a verse picture produced in a way like that. The way we even midway through, after we basically have this idea done once, do it again after that, but now even in a more increased tempo, at least beat-wise, while the tempo of the delivery stays the same. Woozy, I like your approach. Like mentioned, I really like that. It's so unusual to your typical K-pop construction, because I've now already spent like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes just going through the first 40 seconds of the song, because I'm like, hey, this is really cool. This is like, hey, this is very unusual. I like that. I want to go into that in detail again to really understand what we did here. It's really cool. And then, like mentioned, we have this very lengthy, short, lovely pre-chorus. Oh, wait, lengthy, short pre. Yeah. This lengthy, calm, mellow pre-chorus we then would expect to get that strong drop. But instead, we use the first half of the chorus and the drop, an anti-drop, to create even more of a mellow, calm atmosphere. But like mentioned, I have a very lovely, playful synth going on there. The bass is also, like mentioned, has this little drowned, mushy feeling to it, which is also cool. And then, like mentioned, I was like, okay, if we do an anti-drop like that and have the tempo is also a bit more calmer, then we're going to be doing a very energetic second half, though, to really make it feel satisfying there. Instead, I honestly gotta say, I'm not sure if I'm fully feeling it yet. We're doing an instrumental part for the second half instead. We already have the riff actually coming in a bit. And it actually sounds cool. But as you can see already, we go back into the verse. And that is honestly something that I'm really not the biggest fan of. Which is that you close a section, like especially the second section, in the middle. Because we have the 2 sections for the choruses, and each section has 2 parts each. So to then say, okay, we do the first section with 2 parts, but then only do 1 part for the second section of the chorus, basically only giving us half of that sound, then that kind of, it never really feels satisfying to me. You know, it kind of feels like we abruptly cut off there and then, you know, just go back into the verse picture. which, like mentioned, maybe I will grow into it. You know, maybe this will be something I don't mind too much and realist and everything. But like my general stance to that type of production is like, not my thing. I usually want that second section to be just as long as the first half. I'm generally not a fan if we do 2 sections and one is longer than the other or one is shorter than the other. It just never. I just really want it to be that compact, compact thing right there. And because I thought, like mentioned, we do an instrumental part here. Okay, we have now this instrumental second as dance break part basically, and then later on we maybe add lyrics on top of that, but that doesn't happen. Okay, so we then do the same thing again. But now I actually want to get into the bridge again. How is the bridge again? Then we, like mentioned, pull down again. I mean, we have some little keys added in there. Actually, very shortly and briefly though. And even the bridge is extremely slow. Extremely short. Like just 10 seconds or so. Then here, we drown out everything for a moment, then slowly blending it back into it, then boom, back into it. Yeah, this is, in a production sense, probably one of the most interesting B-sides this year thus far. Like, you could probably spend another 5 to 10 minutes going through this and trying to make something out of it. But you don't want to go too long here. I'm just glad we at least now do the full thing here, you know, where we don't cut it off in the half. And my guess is they said, okay, we cut off that one half of that chorus in the first 2 parts because it would have otherwise maybe went too long for them. I don't know how the usual length of 17 songs is, but due to the way we did it here, it ended up at around 3.5 minutes. If we would have added the other 2 sections, we would have closed out onto nearly 4 minutes, so maybe that was the reason. But yeah, okay. 17th Domino is wild, okay? 17th Domino is in its own right really wild. The way we use the sound, the way we build the song, the way we construct the song, it's really unusual and unique, and that's something I always respect. Okay, I always respect taking a risk and saying, okay, I'm producing a song right here. That's not the norm. That's not how songs are typically done. I'm trying something out here that may have been done before by other people, but it's like not really that known. And like mentioned, I don't know if maybe if someone did stuff like this before, like mentioned, where it feels like an entirely new sound, and like it feels like a chorus for 3 seconds and there the verse, and then like mentioned, I mean, I have seen like mentioned songs that cut off the second half in the middle, which are criticized back then as well, but only because it's just not one of my favorite things to do. But man, 17th Domino, that would definitely need more re-listens. Like, I definitely dig what we did here. Like mentioned, I definitely respect the craft and the artistry behind it. But we'll have to see if it's a type of song that I, like mentioned, can really enjoy a lot of re-listens. Because, like mentioned, the cutting off the middle thing and like don't really having a satisfying chorus with like lengthy lyrics and everything might be lacking for me. But that will be a question of time. We'll have to see that after more re-listens to it. Okay, enough time spent on this song. Was, like mentioned, pretty fun though to get a bit into its details. Woozi really is trying to is really trying stuff out alongside his other writer, Bamzu. It was really cool. We're now moving over to our 4th B side, which is Shadow. Written by Woozi, Boomzu, and Dino, another member. And he's also into part of the composition. That's really interesting. So there are some songs where another member helps out as well, but it doesn't happen always. So not every song includes another member. So, you know, that makes you think, okay, why now did they specifically decide, okay, we're now part of this song? Or like, why did Woozi invite them to, okay, here, let me help me writing on this one? That's a really cool thing to observe, and maybe we will know more about that if we go into the behind the scenes stuff. Maybe this is something that will come at a future day, which I might dive into, because like mentioned, I really dig Woozi's producer mind thus far. So let's see what Shadow is about. Maybe this first really soft song, because like mentioned, Domino actually had quite the fun energetic tempo in between. Let's find it out. 17th, 6 songs / 4th B-side on the 4th album, Face the Sun, Shadow, which obviously works well for the sun theme. Aww. Playing the intro this time around, nice. Digging that verse flow. Oh, it was actually such a calm intro, but out of the pacing and the width of the sound is actually quite full. But here we come down again. This time we're getting a full second chorus though, come on. We have to. Please, give it to me. Yes! Oh yeah, I'm digging that. Oh, I like that line. I'm shadow of you. Basically always by your sides, you know. Thinking that metaphor. Yeah, but I like the synth in this, really. It isn't even really retro, but it kind of has that spacey, dreamy sense to it, which works really well at night. So this will definitely be a good addition to my night/retro playlist for songs that hit even differently there. But I love how we built towards a big drop here, but then... Oh, that's so good. That's so cool. Lots of English in there that you can sing along to. Ooh. Probably my favorite thus far. I really love March for its rock, but the way we do this song here is so good. Digging this guitar here as well. It's a cool contrast to the... Oh! Oh, I'm guessing he wrote his own rap. Okay, that was a cool rap bridge there. Or like a cool second part to the bridge. Could also be considered more of a third verse, but... My shadow, my shadow. Ooh. And we even... Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, it's... Ah. This is the one. This is the one. This is a standout for me thus far. Because, like mentioned, March is killer, and I really loved its sound. And the other songs, like mentioned, were a bit more, like mentioned, a bit more. I wouldn't even say experimental. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it experimental. Like neither Domino nor Don Quixote is really experimental in the sound. Actually, never mind. I guess you can call both a bit experimental. Don Quixote not really for its sound, but like mentioned for its construction, and Domino actually for both. The way it was both done in the construction and in the sound. But Shadow definitely, like mentioned, explores a more classic sound concept again. Like mentioned, going into this a slightly retro synth direction, with the dreamy night feelings to it, which, like mentioned, are the type of songs and the type of instrumentals that just feel better at night. You know, when you're already a bit sleepy, and just generally, you know, there's a saying that you shouldn't think about your life after 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. because you just think very differently there. So that's definitely the type of sound that really hits differently at that time. But we still really do cool job, and very exciting job in the way we do the song here and how we do the big parts. Because first of all, y'all know me, or once again, those that know me know, an intro and an outro can round up and evaluate a song a lot. Kicking into a song immediately or abruptly ending a song can really like be a slightly bad aftertaste. Something that may not ruin a song for me, but like really, you know, like when you have something, when you have a playlist, or like when you or like when you listen to the song on loop and everything, when the loop doesn't really feel satisfying because either, you know, it just kicks in straight away after it ends again, something like that. Like, that would be the worst. A song that immediately starts and immediately ends. Because upon ending, you're basically immediately back into it, which feels, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel satisfying. Satisfying is what I often use for these reacts because that's one of my favorite things about music. Some songs just have such a satisfying production to them where every single listen just feels so good because there's so many moments in there and so many sections that are just so good every single time. And Shadow does an excellent job at building the atmosphere with a lengthy intro and closing it out with a lengthy outro, because we, instead of doing a 5-second intro, so like a 5-second intro or outro, which is like the short part or like the short version of it, we do double in lengthy. Excellent. Lengthy intro, lengthy outro, that's already a big plus. But now, like mentioned, the sound itself. The verses are lovely. We have, like mentioned, this no 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 oh, which is a cool flow throughout the verses going on. The pre-chorus is really cool too. What? The pre-chorus pulls it down even more. We have, like mentioned, this, you hear this short sound effect, you know, which sounds like glitter and stars and everything, adding into that night feeling. The way we increase the tempo here, it's a very short pre-chorus actually, but it's okay because, like mentioned, we do a lengthy intro and outro, and we didn't want the song to go too long, so we only did like one section there. So the tempo slash energy increase happens a bit sooner here, but it still works for me. Like, it's still a satisfying pre-chorus. And you would always expect, as soon as you hear that, okay, boom, strong drop or anything like that. But instead, shadow my shadow, you know, that's also a cool idea to also love when we have the drop within the line. So instead of starting the line as the drop happens, we do it within the line. And in this case, again, the way he even delivers the shadow my shadow makes you think, boom, we're breaking it down, and boom, boom, tempo, everything, you know, but instead we do this swerve, a good swerve. Shadow my shadow. Take it in the guitar, and I already knew, alright, I see what we're doing, I'm ready for it. Shadow my shadow. Oh! And the way, once again, we do again the drop within the line, but in this case, the drop and the first line of the second half happens within the drop line. So we have the shadow my shadow line here, and both the drop and the first line kicking into it are here in the middle, like near its end. So that's just, we have so much happening at once at that point. We have the drop, we have the final line from the first half of the chorus, and the kickoff to the second half of the chorus. And it's so good. It's so satisfying. What a chorus right there. Shadow my shadow. Oh. And yet the melody to this da 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 da. Excellent. Oh, this is definitely my favorite B-side, not just on this album thus far, but I think this may already be a personal favorite throughout albums of the year. Oh, this is just, it's just really exactly my thing. The chorus is perfect, the verses are fun, the short pre-chorus is excellent. And like mentioned, the bridge is also cool. You know, it first has the vocal sections, and then we have Dino in the second half. And this now actually, this is on, actually just makes me curious here, because like mentioned, one thing I always talk about in big groups is the line distribution dynamic, because we have so many members, and it's obviously possible to give every member like a very lengthy section within a song. And I didn't really focus on it beforehand, but I would not be surprised if they actually say that not every single member, or maybe actually, I don't know. It kind of felt, at least in the previous songs, that Dino didn't always necessarily have lyrics. I, like mentioned, haven't really paid attention to it. I will have to check it just afterwards when I go through the lines, just everything. But it feels like in some songs, not every member is getting a part here. So we only like use 10 or 11 of the members, or maybe even less. But then then we just switch around it. But without making it like a subunit, we still say, okay, this is a 17 song. You know, this isn't a subunit song right now. Just, you know, like we don't say that not everybody is singing right here. Even though that would be weird. Like, I don't know, it seemed to me like I didn't hear Dino before on the album. And it kind of felt to me like, now, okay, so this is why Dino has now here lyrics credited, because this time around he's rapping and he writes his own raps. You know, that would be an idea. Do I want to check the line distribution really quickly? I think I will just do it afterwards. I'm just assuming it here right now. I mean, I will pay attention to the next song again to see if that theory is tuned that not every member is getting aligned within every song, which I mentioned is totally okay. Okay, like mentioned, 30 members is a lot. It's huge. You know, that's something that NCT also did for their big songs. Like back then, I remember for the NCT 2017 or 18 was it? All right, 2018 Black on Black. Only 4 people said something, or 3 actually. I think Lucas, Taeyong and Mark only had lyrics where we had 20 members, right? Because you just can't give something to everybody. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is now the case here now that we see after reaction. But yeah, the bridge is also cool. Kind of it's like a third verse with first the vocal part and then the rap part, and then boom, we go back to the chorus again, and like mentioned, have that satisfying outro. Shadow is excellent. Okay, Shadow is awesome. Lengthy intro, lengthy outro. The sound itself, like mentioned, with the night dreamy like synth is exactly my thing. The chorus is so great. It's such a genius way to do with like having the chorus, like the drop start within the line, swerving us at first, and then make the second section feel even more exciting. Awesome. 17th Shadow, that's one of my favorite B-side of the album, and definitely already a favorite B-side of the year, 100%. This was really good. That was a lot of fun. 17th Shadow, that was really cool. I had so much fun with that, and we have 3 more songs to go through. Oh boy, we're already 45 minutes. What the hell have I done? Alright, that's it for the first part of my 17th Fourth album Face the Sun reaction plus review. I hope you enjoyed the first half. If you did, leave a like down below to show me that you did. Your favorite songs from the first 4, tell me all about it down below in the comments as well. And as always, if you enjoyed what I'm doing, if you want to support me, you can gladly leave a sub as well, or support my Patreon, or here with a super thanks. It would help me a lot. And yeah, as already mentioned, we will be seeing us again in just around an hour or so with the second part, which includes the final 3 B-sides of 17's 4th album, Face the Sun. Till then, have a good time. See you later.